Hello, this is Dr. Dennis Kimbro, and welcome to the Global Classroom. Well, as you can tell, I just got out of the gym and I'm soaking wet, and I can't wait to go upstairs and grab a quick shower. But while I'm there, in the gym, moving some metal and on the treadmill, trying to lose a few extra pounds that I took on over the Thanksgiving break, what was on my mind? My mind was on and always is on building wealth, and not just any wealth, but generational wealth, being able to pass that baton on to the next generation and give them a head start in life. And here we are, like I said, we just celebrated Thanksgiving. We are 1 week away from the 67th anniversary of the Montgomery Bus Boycott. That's right, less than 70 years ago, Martin Luther King and Miss Rosa Parks, both of them stepped out on faith and made a difference, a huge difference. They really launched the civil rights struggle. And so few of us really know the backflap story to the Montgomery Bus Boycott. That boycott was only planned for one day, December 5th, 1955. But it was so successful, King and his lieutenants and Rosa Parks too said, well, let's extend it. And then it went from 1 day to 1 year, and even went more than a year, 381 days to be exact. Now, to go ahead and put on a program like this for 381 days takes cash. And Dr. King and Rosa Parks, they were raising serious money at that particular time frame. Dr. King raised, $750,000. And the boycott was taking a toll, not only in the city of Montgomery, Alabama, but on the state of Alabama, and they were trying to break the movement. Everybody was trying to find out where King was stashing his money. And where was he stashing his money? In Europe. Not only Europe, but in England, several banks in London, and even China. He had $750,000, and you extrapolate that to today, today's wealth, it was easily well up into the millions, if certainly not billions. So King had his money men, and who were his money men? Well, two entrepreneurs, and you heard me share this story before, specifically S.B. Fuller and A.G. Gaston. And these were successful entrepreneurs. In 1955, they were both millionaires. King was jailed several times, a total of more than 30 times throughout his career. And each time, he would call Fuller or he would call, Dr. Gaston to go ahead and post bond. Now, these guys had a different mindset. They were millionaires and they were entrepreneurs, so they were cut of a different cloth at that particular time. And they ran the numbers. And they went up to, King's office and said, Martin, hey, come over here and look at the numbers. The city of Montgomery is going broke. The bus line is going broke. We could go ahead and buy the bus line. And if we buy the bus line, we can drive it wherever and hire whomever we wanted to hire. Well, King looked at the numbers, and unfortunately at that particular time frame in our history, our leaders weren't prepared to say yes in terms of economic development. Now, what makes that so magical? And let's put a spin on it today. We are seeing the same thing today. Everybody is focused on what happened to Kyrie Irving and the documentary Hebrews, the Negroes, and the like. And Kyrie gave a formal apology, and he was fine. We all know that story. But let's place that economic development mindset on it. The same economic development mindset that S.B. Fuller and A.J. Gaston tried to get King to see. Let's use it today. All right, there are 530 basketball players that play in the NBA. Of the 530, slightly more than 400 are black. This group of 400 black players who play in the National Basketball Association are a group of the wealthiest group of black males in the world. Yep, you heard me right. This collective of 400 African-American basketball players, the number one group of black males economically throughout the world. We know that the average, contract is about 4 years in the NBA. And we know that the average salary is more than $4 million in the NBA. Like, 4.1 million. If you look at the top 10 basketball players in the NBA, Steph Curry certainly leads the parade. LeBron is in the top 10, and there's Kyrie Irving in the top 10. Collectively, you take their annual salary by 400, and what do? You get $1.7 billion. And you multiply it times the average 4-year contract, then you're looking at $6.1 billion. And what does that $6.1 billion equal to of these 400 basketball players, all black male? Well, if you compared it to the Fortune 500, they'd be number 450 on the list. That's right. They'd be right up there with Chipotle. They'd be right up there with Dillard's. They'd be right up there with Victoria's Secret. They'd be right up there with Bed, Bath, and Beyond. Now, why do I highlight these companies? Because they employ more than 20,000 employees. That's the net worth. And just like Martin Luther King couldn't see what, S.B. Fuller and A.G. Gaston were trying to tell him, we couldn't leverage our worth back then in 1955. And we can't leverage it today until we know the collective value of our earnings. Well, that was on my mind as I was pumping iron today, and I just wanted to share it with you. And you've heard me say it before. They say, a weak mind talks about people. An educated mind talks about events. But a wealthy mindset, well, they discuss and they examine ideas. This is Dr. Dennis Kimbro in the Global Classroom, and don't you ever forget, your wealth choice is arguably your best choice. God bless.